There was a little girl who looked so lovely in her red cap and cloak which her grandmother gave her that everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother told her to put on her cloak and take a basket of butter and eggs to her grandmother who was ill and lived at the opposite side of the forest. While she was on her way, up came a big wolf and said, "Good morning, Little Red Riding Hood. Where are you going in such a hurry?"
"I'm bringing this basket to my grandmother who is ill and lives at the edge of the woods."
"But why don't you stop and listen to the birds and pick some flowers?" So the wolf left Little Red Riding Hood picking flowers while he hurried on to the house at the edge of the woods, where he found Grandmother, ate her up, put on her clothes, jumped into bed, and waited for Little Red Riding Hood to come. "There she is now. Open the latch and walk in."
"Hello, Grandmother. I've brought you some butter and eggs." "Oh, Grandmother, what big eyes you have."
"The better to see you with, my child."
"Oh, Grandma, what ears you have."
"The better to hear you with, my child."
"Oh, Grandma, what terribly big teeth you have."
"The better to eat you with." With that, the wolf jumped from the bed and would have eaten Little Red Riding Hood all up, had it not been for her father, a woodcutter, and his dog, who heard the noise and ran in and chopped off the wolf's head before he could do any harm. Then the birds began to sing, because they knew that the wolf was dead, and Little Red Riding Hood was safe and sound in her father's arms and on her way home.
Now, children, I shall tell you a story of a very wicked fairy who turned a great prince into a frog. One day, a beautiful young princess, while playing near a brook in the woods, dropped her favorite plaything, a golden ball, into the deep water. Just then, a frog put his head out of the water and cried, "I will bring back your golden ball if you will take me home with you and let me eat from your golden plate and sleep in your little bed." The princess agreed, but she was so happy when the frog gave her the ball that she forgot all about her promise. The next day, there was a knock at her door, and a voice said, "Open the door, my princess dear. Do open the door for thy true love here, and mind the promise that you made by the fountain pool in the greenwood glade."
"Who is there?"
"It is I, the frog."
"Oh, come in."
The frog entered and then sat down beside the princess and began to eat from her golden plate. Then he said, "Princess, I am tired. May I go upstairs to your bed?"
"Come, Mr. Frog, follow me."
The next morning the princess awoke, but lo and behold, instead of the frog, she found a handsome prince in her room. She was greatly surprised and cried out, "Who are you, and where is the frog?" "Most lovely princess, a wicked fairy turned me into a frog, but you have broken the spell, and now I am a prince again. Will you marry me and come to my kingdom?"
"Thank you, kind prince. I will."
So the prince and the princess were married, and left for the kingdom of the prince in a beautiful gold coach, drawn by 8 white horses.